everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Okay, so get this. So there's this girl at work who's about to get fired. As the IT manager, I always know about any onboards or offboards before they happen because they want to make sure that I revoke access to their emails, and they want me to make sure that they're locked out of certain things so that nobody who's getting fired can go back and like shoot a company-wide email or anything like that. So I'm one of the first people to know when somebody's going to be onboarded or offboarded so that I can prepare their computer and their access and so on and so forth. So my boss, who is a super bitch, and the HR lady have been telling me we have an offboard coming up and this is super confidential. Nobody can know about this. And they keep saying that it's confidential, it's confidential. And I found out that the girl that they're firing, she's a really sweet girl. Like, she just got a raise, she just got promoted, like she does a great job at work, and she's always super sweet whenever you talk to her. So I'm like, okay, something strange is going on here. Now, normally when it comes to affairs of onboards and offboards, I don't get involved. I just tell them what to do. I don't talk to the employee that is getting offboarded or whatever, just because that's not my place, that's not my job. But this particular employee that they're about to fire, she's such a sweet girl, and I've had many interactions with her where she's just been very positive and upbeat. I know that she recently got married and she recently got a raise, so I know that it's not because of her performance. I felt like something else is beneath the surface. Y'all, I feel like God put it on my heart to tell the girl that she's about to get fired. So I text the girl and I'm like, hey, meet me upstairs by the elevator. And she's like, okay. So she comes upstairs. I pull her aside, like out of view. So I tell her, you're about to get fired, and they're about to do it on Tuesday. This was Thursday last week. And she starts bawling. She's like so taken aback. She's like, what do you mean I'm getting fired? And I was like, I don't know the reason. All I know is that they already have your replacement. They want me to prep your computer for that replacement. And she kept on asking me, like, do you know why they're firing me? Why are they firing me? Why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't get any of that information. They just tell me what to do with the assets. That's it. So, do you know this girl proceeds to tell me how the HR lady who keeps on telling me confidential offboard, her and the HR girl were actually friends before she started working at the company. Now, they go out to lunch sometimes, they chat, they text, they call, they hang out outside of work. The girl who's about to get fired, she was chatting with her friend that works in HR. And she was telling her that she was so excited, she just got a raise, and they were celebrating. You know, it was like a happy moment. Somehow, some way, the HR girl goes back to my boss and tells my boss about the conversation that, oh, she was discussing her pay, and one thing led to another, and the boss calls the girl who's about to get fired into her office. So my boss is telling her, why were you discussing that you got a pay raise? You shouldn't be doing that. And she really ripped into her, and the girl was like, oh, I apologize, I didn't realize that I wasn't able to discuss getting a pay raise. As a matter of fact, when the HR girl, my friend, got a raise, we had a very similar conversation where we were both celebrating, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. And she says, ever since that conversation, things have been strange. Neither one of them want to talk to her. They both have kind of been avoiding her. They haven't been as friendly. And now she's getting fired. Y'all, corporate America is nothing to play with. I've seen people undercut, backstab. I've seen people do some conniving, evil things thinking that it's going to benefit their position in the company, or maybe help them with a pay raise, or maybe help them get close to somebody who can better their circumstance. And I have seen some cutthroat, heartless, cold individuals just do some very disgusting things, and this situation is one of them. So my intention here was just to tell the girl ahead of the weekend so that she could prepare herself, so that she could gather any evidence that might work in her favor, because I feel like specifically in this case, they know that they have some damning evidence against them, which is why they kept on telling me it's confidential, it's confidential, it's confidential. The HR girl knows that she said some things that could possibly incriminate her, so she wants to make sure that she catches this girl off guard. It's about to go down. So I text my girl, cause she's my girl now. I texted her this morning. I was like, hey, happy firing day. Like, I hope you're ready. I hope you got all the evidence that you need. Make sure when you walk in there, you hit the record button, because we're both interested to know what reason they're gonna have to fire her. And my girl, she ready, okay? She said if they don't come with the severance package, if they're not paying out my benefits through the end of June, I'm not signing anything. If they refuse severance, I'm going to ask HR why they're refusing severance. I'm also going to ask for a written note where they say they're not going to contest my unemployment. I said, yes, girl, you understood the assignment. So here we go. I'm about to go to work. I feel so happy because I gave somebody that empowerment. I remember when I got fired once before, how it felt. I felt so unprepared walking into that conversation, and I really wanted her to just take this opportunity to prepare herself. So I get here right at 9 o'clock. And as I'm getting out of my car, I'm walking through the parking lot, and I see my boss has already walked her to the car with her belongings. Like, she's out of there, 9 o'clock on the dot. She's removed, like the conversation has already happened. So I gotta call my girl and see what's up. So I call her and I'm like, what happened? And she's like, well, my manager pulled me into her office as soon as I got here this morning and was like, you're being let go. She said when she called her into the office, she hit the record button because she knew what time it was. Ask her manager, why am I being let go? And at that point, the manager says, my boss is gonna explain further. So my boss enters the conversation and she just proceeds to say, it's not been a good fit. It's not a good fit was the reason. Let me back it up to last week, okay? So last week when I told my girl that she was getting fired, she remembered that she has not had her performance review. So she sent them an email and was like, hey, I haven't had my annual performance review, and based off of the positive feedback that I had when I got my raise and yada, 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 I think now would be a great time for us to have a discussion about how I can improve my performance or something to that effect. To which, mind you, this is on Friday after I give her the news that she's getting fired. Her direct manager does not respond to the email. Friday goes by, no response. She comes in today and that manager is being extremely hostile towards her this morning, like when she pulls up. So yeah, no response to the performance review question. She said that was not the first time she asked about it. She said on Thursday and Friday, she spent all that time just getting together the timeline of her asking for the performance review and them saying that they don't have anything on the calendar. So I'm like, is the performance review what they're trying to say is? And she's like, no, I'm telling you that I never got a performance review. So the reason is just, it was not a good fit. So sometimes after she leaves the building, she gets the email that has the PDF with the severance letter, basically that you are terminated. And so she screenshots me the email that she constructed in response to my boss sending her the severance letter. And it was something to the effect of, thank you for sending me the severance letter. I will have to have my attorney review it since I'm not well versed in this. I appreciate you, yada, 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 sincerely signed, that kind of thing. Long story short, my girl is about to sue. And I don't know how this is gonna play into all this, but during everything she was telling me, she said specifically that her family is in Hollywood. So she has a good lawyer. I don't know what's about to happen, y'all, but could get crazy. Also, I just wanted to mention, for those of you who are worried about my job, I'm actually contracted at this company and my contract is not getting renewed, so I'm already on my way out. And the whole thing with my contract ending, my company that I work for being fired, the circumstances surrounding that were shady as hell too. So that's why I knew something was up with this. This was kind of like a F you on my way out type of thing. And I'm so happy that she's taking it there. She mentioned retaliation, termination. She was using the lawyer term. So I know she's been in contact with an attorney. And secondly, I can sense this girl's energy. Like, she's always been, you know, when you just feel that somebody is a good human being, she's always had that energy and aura about herself. She did mention that she already has another job lined up and it pays better than this one. So shout out to my girl. And she has been extremely grateful throughout all this. She keeps singing my praises. She's like, oh my God, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. She's prayed over me. She's just been so grateful that I gave her this opportunity. So that alone is enough for me. The question that I've been getting the most isn't whether or not the girl got fired. It's not whether or not I got fired. The question I've been getting the most is, why did I do it in the first place? Why couldn't I mind my business? And the answer to that is probably a lot less interesting than people may be thinking. First of all, I did not lose my job. I still work there. But the reason that I ended up telling her is because I had spent days wrestling with myself. I had talked to my husband about it. My husband was against it. I had prayed about it. And if you hear me at the very beginning of the video, I tell you guys, I feel God put it on my heart to tell her. Ultimately, praying about it, talking to my husband about it, that is the conclusion that I came to. And I still feel that way today. I feel God put it on my heart. That was my assignment. I didn't know where it was going. And I just so happened to pick up the camera that day to show you guys that, yeah, this is a crazy thing I'm doing, but this is what I feel God put on my heart. As I was breaching confidentiality and putting myself out there in a major way at the risk of my job, I told myself that I wish that I would have had somebody do this for me when I was in this very same position. And ultimately, that last thought was the push that I ended up needing to actually follow through and to tell her. Now, whether or not I handled this whole situation perfectly, that can be debated forever. But one thing I know for sure is I did what I felt was right in that moment. And I think a lot of us make decisions based off of the person that we needed when we were going through similar situations ourselves. Now, the internet can debate about whether I was right or whether I was wrong forever. But the truth is, I wasn't trying to be right. I was just trying to do what I thought was the right thing. I thought that I was being of service to another human being, and I feel that's why I was put here on this earth. I always look for opportunities to do that, and an opportunity presented itself, and I took it.
I know you guys have been waiting for an update all day, and I don't think it's fair to leave you hanging, so I have to give you guys an update. I'm sorry, I'm so upset because I feel like this always happens, you know, like I feel like I always put myself out there. I always put myself on a limb. I really jeopardized my job, you know, because I saw somebody who was being wrongly terminated, and I decided to step in and do something about it. The update is that the girl that I did all that for, she doesn't actually want to pursue a lawsuit. And at first, I guess that didn't really bother me, because I realized that not everybody has the same energy I have, right? But I guess what really bothers me is that I reached out to the person and I told her how everybody on TikTok is rallying for her, and, you know, I reached out to her, and she just completely, like, blew me off. And there's been so many times where I've been in this exact same position where it feels like I am being the purest form of myself. I see people that are in need and I help them. And then at the end of the day, I'm exposed or I'm worse off in some way at their expense, and they don't care. They go on and they live their lives. The girl, she has a new job. She's fine. I went to work today, and as much as I wanted to not care, I felt exposed. I felt like I put myself out there. I might walk in here and they might cut my contract early because of what I did. And then this girl is just somewhere living her life. You know, she couldn't even respond to my text message when I told her that everybody was rooting for her. She didn't care. She didn't care, you know, and that it's always like that. I feel like this world does not deserve me, you know, and I constantly get that reminder that nobody is as real as me. And I've felt that way my whole life. There is nobody in my universe who truly understands my heart and appreciates me for who I am and the love that I have for people. And that hurts. It's a pretty lonely existence, you know? And I know that's definitely not the update that everybody wanted to hear. You guys have been amazing. All of the positive comments and feedbacks, all the follows, the likes, the shares, the reposts, the support, all of you guys rallying behind this girl that we're all rooting for, right? And just being so kind and loving towards me and seeing me. I felt so seen by you guys. And just to feel that the person that I did all that for, she could give two shits, you know? And I just feel that's just my life, you know? Again. And now I am exposed at work, and she's somewhere living her life. So that is the update. Yeah.
I got fired, y'all. I got fired. They finally found the video. They found the video. So, y'all know I had to come back and tell you what happened. 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks and 1 day, because today's June 16th, I posted that video on May 25th. 3 weeks later, my employer, they found the video. So I went into work today. Everything was very normal. I helped the finance department set up their check scanner. While I was doing that, I had a couple of the executives come over to me and they were asking for help with this or asking for help with that. And and it was like so busy that the finance guy that I was helping, he was like, oh wow, you're popular today. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So I don't think anything of it. I'm just going about my merry little business. I have an interaction with my boss that's a little bit strange, but not really. So what happened was, one of the executives asked if I could make his laptop a personal laptop and remove it from the domain of the company that I work for, that I'm contracted by. So I have to run it by my boss. And so I had to go and ask her for permission. She was like, oh yeah, he's an executive. He gets whatever he wants. Just go ahead and do it. But before I asked her, like when I knocked on her door, she looked up and she had this look on her face like she was irritated. You know, she had this look on her face. I couldn't quite place it, but it was just like a fleeting look. Once I started talking, you know, she, you know, changed her demeanor or whatever. And so she gave me the approval. I went, I did the laptop, I gave it to the executive, and that was that. Maybe like an hour later, she stopped by my office and she's like, hey, did you get such and such situated? And I said, yeah, he's good to go. And she was like, okay, thank you so much. And that was it. I would say like 30 minutes after that interaction, I went to go like look at my Slack messages or my email or something to follow up with a user, and I couldn't get in. My email wasn't working. My password wasn't working. And I immediately thought, okay, I'm being offboarded. This is me being offboarded. I'm like, shit, they found the video. So I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected. I'm like, okay, this is the day. My time is up, okay? The jig is up. So I leave, and when I leave, I call the company that I have the contract through, and I'm like, hey, I just want to know, am I being offboarded? And he's like, I don't know why you would be. I don't have any orders for you being off. Like, what? So he's like, let me check on that. I'll put a ticket in and then I'll get back to you in the morning. And I was like, okay. And maybe like an hour later, I got a call from the guy who cuts my checks. And he was like, hey, Tiffany, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. I got a call from the company and I'm pretty sure you already know what this is about. They do not want you to come back to the site. And I said, is this about the TikTok videos? And he said, yes, this is 100% about the TikTok videos. So I'm thinking in my mind, I wonder who found out. Like, who was it that actually encountered the video? Was it my boss? I'm interested to see how all of that went down behind the scenes. Like, I want to know. If you're out there and you're watching this video and you work at the company, please let me know how it went down behind the scenes, because we got to know. The people want to know, okay? Also, the HR girl was not in the office today. I did notice. I don't know if she got fired for what happened, for what I said. I don't know why she would. I'm not sure. Or maybe she saw the video. Maybe she's the one who encountered the video and she didn't want to come to work today and face me. Or maybe whatever I said in the video, she was so perturbed by it that she called out. I don't know. But the HR girl was not there. My boss was there. And she was pleasant, you know, she was pleasant enough. And so, yeah, that's how it all went down, you guys. So what's next for me? I guess I'm about to be a full-time content creator. So help your girl out, hit the follow button. You know what time it is. Like, we're doing this full-time, okay? No, but honestly, I've always wanted to do content creation, like, I've always wanted to do content creation and take it seriously, so I guess this might be the push I needed. I've also been wanting to get into real estate, so if you know anybody in Georgia who could help your girl do some fix and flips, I really want to get into that domain, because obviously corporate America is not for me. it. For all of you naysayers and haters, your girl was finally caught. So yeah, I knew it was a possibility, so I'm not blindsided by this. I didn't have anybody to give me a heads up, unfortunately. How ironic is that? But yeah, that's the update.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. All right, man, listen. I seen it coming from a mile away, but this goes to show what you do for other people. Look, when you do stuff for other people, shut your damn mouth. Shut your damn mouth. Like, that's crazy. You stuck your neck out for that woman and it got you where? Nowhere at all. In the unemployment line. And this economy is crazy, for real, for real. I don't think this economy is really for people getting fired right now. You need to keep all your ducks in a row so you can, keep the coins coming just until you get your next gig, and then you can come out and say, look, this is what happened at my other job. I would never talk about my current job, right? One thing for sure, especially when I did it when I was at my current job online, and there were people that really didn't like me, and I never updated my LinkedIn, but they tried to find my current job, right? And I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And they showed it all online, and look, you could put all the bullying and harassment stuff out there. There was a point in time where YouTube really didn't care about putting out bullying and harassment by showing people social media and showing their job and stuff and where they work and what they've been doing and phone numbers and things of that nature. They did it all. But the fact that people would do that is crazy. And yeah, man, but the one thing that I can say about the haters are, well, they still losers. I'm saying they never were winners. But other than that, it was just a backlash that you would get from putting stuff out online. But so when you help somebody, it doesn't really pay to help really people and then tell the world about it. The one mistake she made was telling the world about it. The second one was, believing that woman would be her friend because she did one small thing. She probably never liked you, but she probably appreciated what you did, but that's what she thought, that it was going to be over. She didn't think that y'all were going to have a bond over her getting fired. So, I would just say in cases like that, don't take people too genuinely. She got the heads up that she wanted or that she probably needed. She probably didn't think that her name was, in that position to lose her job. Reason being is she just got a raise. How do you just get a raise and you get fired? Well, she'll tell you. She told people how much she was making. Now, I worked at a job and they used to say, don't tell people what you're making, because I knew everybody didn't get paid the same. But thing is the pay scale relative to the knowledge that you have of the job. And I've worked at a place where I was just like, I know somebody's making more than me, but I believe I know more than them because I work different positions. Since I've been here, that person has only worked one position, and from what I know, is they went from a person who answered the phone to that position, and they never changed. And it wasn't even a difficult position, but I know they was making more than me. So instead of going out and saying, oh, well, I know this person make more than me, I just pled my case of why I should make more money. But also that also brought them to be like, well, have you been discussing your pay with the other people? You know, that we're not supposed to do that. I'm like, why we ain't supposed to do that? Is there a reason why we ain't supposed to discuss our pay? Like, tell me what I miss. So definitely never discuss your pay. I'm at a job right now. Oh, my last 2 jobs have been where whatever level, and everybody could see your level. Like it was just like a daily occurrence that I think you would see what type of level people were on, and you would know how much they make hourly or salary. And even now, it doesn't matter how long you've been at the job and how nothing. If y'all on the same level, y'all making the same pay. It don't matter. They could be at the job 20 years and you be there 5. If y'all make it to the same level, y'all getting the same money. So it don't matter, man. But she really put herself out there. Shout out to Tiffany too, official. Really put herself out there. I think she was doing too much.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.